Hi, my name is Brendan O'Brien, and these are some of my preliminary findings during my teaching observation from this past semester. I learned a lot. I learned more than I thought I would, and these are just some of the kind of the key points of things that I think were the standout and most consistent things I've noticed in my observation. So, first and foremost, classroom management is everything. And I had heard from other teachers of both friends and family who had mentioned to me how important classroom management is, but it's not until you actually see it firsthand. And honestly, for me, I got very lucky because I was seeing someone who did it very well, and I saw that firsthand. Her name is Miss Logan, and the ability or the lack of ability to keep a classroom under control and also be able to be on schedule with your lesson and also be able to insert joy and fun and inspiration into all of that. If you can do all of that, you are succeeding as a teacher, and that was what I got to see for 30 hours. Um, and piggybacking on that, again saw firsthand that it is possible to and it's effective to be both warm and also firm at the same time, especially at an elementary age. Children respond to clear and efficient instructions and expectations most of the time. But the thing is, they're more likely to if you set that right from the beginning, and you have to enforce that throughout. And the most effective way of doing that, again, as I said before, is to have a demeanor that is welcoming, and the children have to want to believe in what you say, and they have to want to listen to you. And even when they don't, it's sometimes not through any fault of your own, but it's just making sure that you can be consistent in that way, being warm and also firm. And piggybacking off of that, in the spirit of having to do things over and over again and being consistent, repetition is key. And that existed in my observations with the curriculum for sure, because especially when it comes to the phonics lessons, because it's so much of doing the same thing and the same sound every single day and reinforcing it and finding new ways to remember it, but doing it a lot because so that way it sticks in these children's minds. And that's the same thing for behavior when it comes to trying to get the children to listen and trying to get them to stay on task and stay focused. You have to be repetitive, more with some than others sometimes, but either way, there has to be a pattern and a repetition to everything you do. Um, this one's one of my favorite things. It is important to positively reinforce with self love and self encouragement, and that's something I got to see a lot of. And one of the reasons why that's important is because children do inherently want to learn. Like they get excited about new things coming into their brains and understanding things more and overcoming challenges and rising to the occasion and succeeding. Children love this, especially at this young age. And the more that the thing is though that it is easy to get to lose sight of that and to get off task of that because there's so many other factors that get in the way. Behavior being one of them. Some children can't help it or can't or struggle with behavior for a lot of different reasons, and that gets in the way, and also just the difficulty. And I saw in several cases there were children who beat themselves up and put themselves down, and you could see it without them even saying it. And that was one of the things that the teacher I observed was keen at, was being able to pick up on the individual subtle nuances of children and realizing what they need and what they need in order to succeed and learn more. And there were so many good examples of having the children vocalize out loud that they're proud of themselves, and encouraging each other, even building that into the repetitive curriculum and the way the curriculum is given out. So self love and self encouragement goes miles, because when the children do succeed and they do learn something, it'll feel that much better, which will make them want to keep learning. I think most kids, again, like they want to learn, they go into learning, and they, in a strange way, they learn to not like learning. And I think the more you can show them that learning is great and can make you feel good and make you like yourself more and like others more, the better that the students will be. Um, Privilege, we talked a lot about that in the readings this semester, almost every single chapter had something to do with the at least the economics of school, and having and not having, and districts that have and do not have, and the various political and cultural reasons that some schools get a lot of money and some don't. And with that money comes privilege. This wasn't even so much of an observation, but a discussion I had with the teacher that I observed, and she discussed that because she had also worked at another school district that was definitely less well funded than this one. This school it's a great elementary school. I mean that in a lot of ways. Like, it's like well run. The teachers really respond well to the administrators, it seems like, and there's a lot of opportunities for the children here and a lot of resources. And the teacher I observed was aware of that, and there's it's I don't think it's a thing that children can understand necessarily at this young of an age. However, I think that what I've learned is there are ways to for children who are in a live in a privileged school or community, or have been fortunate enough to have those resources in their educational disposal. I think it's important to know how to teach children that when they have that, they're very lucky, and they're very lucky to have that, and that not everyone does have that. In whatever way you can convey that, just letting it be known, like, this is not guaranteed. Like, you have a very special thing getting a great education, because in a lot of the readings, a lot of the schools or communities that were a little more privileged and had that financial luxury at their disposal, a lot of the children in these schools didn't seem like they really knew how lucky they were, and they didn't really understand their privilege, or they denied their privilege. And at this young of an age, I think, again, like, to be able to convey that in a way that just reinforces the positive part of it. Again, going back to positive reinforcement in all of this, reminding children, like, education is a positive thing. They are very fortunate to be able to get educated, and the more you can do that with the way that you run the classroom, the way that you teach, the way you can bring curriculum into not just the individual but making it a group thing. That was another part of my observations that I noticed, was that when you can make children invested in themselves and invested in everyone in their class and have pride in that, that's a very special thing, and it's a very effective thing that a lot of teachers can benefit from. That if you can get everyone on board, even if one or two students step out of line or have behavior issues or are just like not getting with the rest of the group, again, children want to learn, and I saw it firsthand. Children got upset when there were individuals in the classroom who didn't want to learn as much or were a distraction. Children who the rest of the majority were upset that their education was being taken away from them by this person acting up. So again, children want to learn, and I think that as a teacher, the best thing that you can do is just feed into that desire and make learning both as structured and clear and fun and make you feel good as much as you can, because when you succeed in education, there's no better feeling.